Man, my intros always come off so awkward. In the first take of this, I was saying, I was reminiscing on all of my D&D exposure I've had over the years and being grateful for meeting all the critters from Critical Role and just everything. And even, man, I just recently got started getting back into watching Campaign 3, and the certain reveals in Campaign 3 just blew my mind. Yeah, no, because there were some connections to older characters and stuff. I won't spoil anything. But this video ended up popping up in my algorithm, and in honor of getting my girlfriend in D&D now too, she ended up drawing my paladin. Oh, super sick. I like the idea of DMing, and I've always had this. If any of you from my old, like, in back in the days when I started getting into D&D, remember I was building a world or anything like that. Yeah, man, I'm back on it now. My love has reignited again. It's never really went away, but my like interest in it reignited, and this video popped up: the 7 types of DMs in D&D by D&D Shorts. So shout out to D&D Shorts. If you want me to take down my video, I don't mind, but I thought I would do this video just for my D&D peeps on the channel. And yeah, and other than that, I don't have any more to say. Remember to be your authentic self. Remember to authentically, like, truly authentically love yourself and spread love. And if you guys have any other videos for me to check out, leave them down below. That's all I got to say. Let's hop into this. I'd also like to say this, by the way, too. The reason I'm watching this is because every time I bring up D&D to somebody, or somebody has an interest in D&D, and then they come and ask me because they see that I'm into it. I'm still such a noob, but there's a lot I understand about it now. I'm able to run them through like the little imaginative scenarios, or the imagination part of it, without the math and the dice rolling, and then I start to incorporate the dice rolls slowly but surely after, which I found is a good way to introduce anyone into this, and I absolutely love it. It makes me literally want to DM my own game, so I'm gonna have to get those books and learn everything I can about D&D when I get settled. But dude, nonetheless, I love it. I enjoy it so much. But all right, let's get this going. I took my girlfriend through it, and that's why she wants to make a character. I think we're making a character for her this weekend. So yeah. All right, here we go.
7 types of... Here are the 7 types of DM in Dungeons & Dragons, or other tabletop games. The Nick Fury. The Nick Fury DM wants only one thing: to build a team of superheroes. They're gonna throw insane gear at the party: magic swords, legendary shields, pet dragons, whatever. No build is off the table. Nick Fury wants the players to feel epic. But this isn't pure altruism, oh no, because in the Nick Fury DM's world, everything is an Avengers level threat. They want to run the powerhouse monsters. The Tarask, Tiamat, Demogorgon are all living and coming for you. A normal peasant living in the Nick Fury DM's world would probably be traumatized because
I get that. I don't know if this, so I'm watching this video also to find if the way I DM is in this, because I sort of have a style of what I go for anyways, and if the style is revealed in this video, I'll end up talking about it at the time, but if not, I'll just end up talking about it at the end. But yeah, I could see how this could be fun. But I was just thinking of that, like, there's certain anime universes that I just would not exist in, or fantasy universes anyways, that I just would not live in.
it seems like there is a world-ending threat every frickin' week.
Yeah, you see
These
what I'm
DMs
saying?
prioritize maximizing the power fantasy. Realism and mundane challenges take a backseat to excitement, novelty, and spectacle. Expect to level up quickly, get all the gear you could ever need to optimize your build, and have plenty of targets to put it to use on. The Nick Fury loves players who give over-the-top performances. They love tense fights, close calls, and action-fueled drama. They are
That's cool. Compared to since I'm going off of campaign 3 right now in Critical Role, it's cool to see that Matt kind of finds a balance. I feel like there's enough like badass heroes and groups inside of Matt's universe that he made with Exandria that it's like it low key. This is to me. I don't know if any other critters feel like this, but to me, the main cast, of course, is still like the heroes and you know, you like Vox Machina, Mighty Nine, or Bell's Hells. They're like the heroes, but it feels like sort of like with guest characters and other stuff that goes on and their connections they make, like the cool, very high up um archmages or stuff, or the connections that they get, that it would still, if the group didn't exist, another group would rise up, like in a sense of take the actual players of the game away and like Matt away, or Matt remains as God. Like it's his world would have like these high universe twisting, or well, not universe, but world ending threats, but like groups could still rise up in the world based on who they come across, and like it would be taken care of in the universe. So it's like it doesn't feel like they're world threatening threats, but also like they are world threatening threats, but it feels like if the main cast wasn't there, like the world threats would still get handled because a cast would arise, or like a band of heroes would arise. But like I feel like Matt does a good job of like balancing that, at least to me. It's not directly some Nick Fury type of throwing Tiamat and all these things at you immediately. He brings them up in a real ragtag group of adventurers type of way, so I like that.
Or maybe the most likely DM to nudge rolls against the party's favor to crank up the tension. They do want you to win, they just want to see you sweat first. Nick Fury's pair up very well with superheroes, min-maxers, and scientist-type players.
Oh, one's human. That was a fun game to play. The World Builder.
The world
I assume everybody is going to be it's like a spectrum of what you're on in this. It's going to be like a mix of everything, because I'm already knowing that for me.
Builder DM is
I feel like I have no Nick Fury in me, except like literally end game of the campaign. Like end of the campaign, I would want you to be like on some legendary level stuff, like you've heard our names, legend.
Creative mastermind. The enemies, the story, even the players themselves are just tiny cogs in a vast living sandbox. This is a world that turns
He's literally using Vox Machina, that's why I was gonna be like this. Yeah, this one's like Matt.
On its own. If the players spend 3 months mastering the art of tap dance, the villains aren't gonna wait around for them. Their plans will progress, which means there's a ticking clock and player choices matter. This rewards players who actively participate in world events around them. Urgency and initiative go a long way here. You can't just hang around and wait for the final boss to come to you. You have to go to them. To the world builder
dude, and yeah, so this is I would say part of my qualities are going to be in this one. What I love is when Matt will roll and not say anything, or he'll have them roll, like at least how he was doing it in campaign 3. I don't want to spoil anything, but he'll have them roll for what situations certain characters end up in. At least it's been a while since I watched campaign 2, but campaign 2 is my favorite, always will be my favorite. Can't wait for the animated. Gotta put that out there. But how I've been seeing it in campaign 3, I really realized how he has them roll in dire situations for what happens to other very important characters, which is like, it's the play on all of these events are still happening around y'all. It's not like paused on your group. It's like
DM, the players are agents of chaos. They have everything else figured out. The only element they can't control is player action. In this sense, players act as rogue agents with the power to subvert the course of destiny. Expect lots of political intrigue and fleshed out NPCs with complex motivations, goals, and histories. And warning, these DMs are at high risk of entering an exposition loop. There is a real threat of you asking an NPC for directions and accidentally getting 20 minutes of backstory. World Builder DMs love it when players take notes and come up with solutions to problems that can't be beaten with a sharp sword and a fireball. They're great at incorporating character backstories into their world, but they can also be the most restrictive type of DM. If your build doesn't work in their universe, you might be told to make another one, which can kinda suck. But of course, the best DMs will always work with you to find a way to make your character concept work in any world imaginable.
I'm pretty sure Talison's character in this one is a new type of barbarian that they've made. Like the whole like chrono like basically like cosmic barbarian is what I would call it. Like this sort of chrono barbarian with weird time dilation cracking abilities. As
J.R.R. Tolkien is the guy I think of when I imagine a world builder DM. The cool cousin. The cool cousin DM is so named because they are like a cool older cousin. They are chill as hell. They literally don't care what happens as long as everyone is having fun. You want to cast a spell as your bonus action and another spell as an action? Sure, buddy, go for it. You want to rage to get advantage on an intimidation check? Sure, buddy, and hell, add a d6 for creativity. Rules as written is for nerds, and people too up their own ass to let the players have fun, at least according to the cool cousin DM. Rule of cool is a way of life. They do minimal prep, they roll with the punches, and they're more focused on making each individual moment fun rather than creating an overarching balanced narrative.
Okay, I would like to make a balanced narrative and have things fit within the world that I build. But again, also with this, I would be the cool, like I'm part world builder and cool cousin. But for the cool cousin thing, I would want to teach them how to play the game right. If I know that they just like want to play Dungeons and Dragons only with me, then for me, I would do that. I would like let them have more fun because I would want everyone to have fun. But also, if somebody's more serious about getting into D&D, I would want to teach them sort of properly if they go and meet other groups to play campaigns with, because then like if they get used to my style, at least from the beginning, I would have to reiterate if I was fully the cool cousin to be like, all right, look, other people do not play like this. So I'm like, these are like house brew rules all the way. So don't take my way of playing like legit is by the book. I'm not.
They also have no idea how anyone could ever burn out as a DM. This is the easiest job in the world, right? Cool cousins usually run funnier games, where players have maximum agency. They're also among the most likely to fudge rolls in a player's favor, or even just ignore rolling entirely and give them an automatic success. Expect lots of laughter, lots of improvisation.
Nah, not me. I'm not fudging rolls. That made it so much fun for when I took my girlfriend through a test like game.
Maybe a few plot holes, and a relaxed gaming environment.
Oh, hey dude, I haven't seen you in ages. I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, that's out? Oh, it's out. The next gen RPG game set in the D&D universe where you can bang a bear. What? I mean, you can romance a druid who can be a bear. Oh. But it's an identity-driven adventure where your choices matter and impact the relationships and world around you as you progress. And about the bear, you can basically play D&D, build crazy combos and explore the Faerun as a solo player, or hop online for multiplayer or couch co-op. And you can bang a bear. I
think this is an advert for Baldur's Gate. By the way, if you haven't played Baldur's Gate, you gotta play. I gotta finish it. I'm in Act 3, but I'm gonna hop over this. Yeah, so it was a plug for Baldur's Gate when it dropped. So I just watched it really quickly to see, but...
The Boxer. The Boxer is the DM who runs games right out of the box. To them, D&D is basically a board game like Monopoly. You set up the maps, the monsters behave exactly as described in the stat block, and the success or failure of the game is dependent on how well written that adventure is. Many DMs start out as boxers, while they develop the skills and confidence to divert from the page and improvise. They are great at running one-shots and other less sandbox-themed games, because those are a closed system and less likely to go off the rails. To the Boxer, running a game is just like cooking a delicious meal. Follow the instructions. Done. As a result, boxers suffer the most from bad or lazy products from publishers. Books that don't include many resources for the DM are almost useless to the boxer, but luckily they know that there are thousands of amazing third-party options out there as well. Now, boxer DMs might sound less creative or somehow worse than other DMs, but that's not really fair. It's more the case that they are happiest running adventures with minimum commitment and agency on their part. If you just want to enjoy a one-shot every now and then, or experience a game as designed, the Boxer will deliver that experience in a reliable and fun way. The Minimalist. The Minimalist DM...
I like the Boxer. I think I'm, of course, going to be a bit of a boxer first. And I would say, also too, I get all these titles are made up also, but yeah, I feel like I would have characteristics of this too, because I would want at least the people who are interested in it right now with me to just get straight to the point and have fun. But my whole vision for what I'm gonna do is actually build my world to where there's, you know, political leaders, everything go very, very in, and empires, and just go hard. So, but for the people, you know, like my girlfriend or blah 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 cousins and everything that, you know, get into it, I'm trying to just move fast so I don't dwell on this too long because I can yap. But for them, I would do one shots and stuff like that.
Understands
Have everything sort of to the book and ready so we could like have a good time, but write a good story for the one shot.
infinite possibilities of the
Because of my imagination, I'd be able to do that anyways because I'm thinking grander with my world. I would write the one shots within my world. Honestly, it would help me build the world too.
blank page. There is no pen, no paper, no maps, and possibly even no monster stat blocks. This is the ultimate sandbox. There are limitless opportunities when the entire world is shaped by the player's imagination. Minimalists are master improvisers, able to switch up anything around the player's actions to suit the situation. Example, the players want to look for a trapdoor to sneak out of an inn. Great idea. They find one. It just pops into existence. And now the party are crawling through a dense, dark tunnel and about to fight a giant spider. Minimalist games can be a little overwhelming for new players who want a little bit of structure, but creative players love them because they understand that no structure means no limitation.
So I'm a mix of this too. Heavy on this because I've learned that through sort of how I've ran, you know, some of my friends through like bar fight scenarios or stuff like that in a town in my world where I still had them rolling dice, but it was mostly they were rolling for like fighting against each other or rolling for, okay, one of them would like how he said the trapdoor one is a good thing. One of them was looking for a back door and I was like, okay, like, you know, this place is very crowded. If you're looking for exits, make a perception check really quickly, you know, add whatever they have on their little character sheet they made. And if they rolled very low, I'd be like, the place is packed. The place is packed and blah, blah, blah. And we moved like that. No nothing, no grid set up, you know, anything. It was just like, when they would even come in contact with each other, I would have them fight, just use their armor class and basically very, very basic, not even spells, anything. It was just like they were all rogues, warriors, or archers or things like that. Well, I think one was a monk, but
DMs are also
me dragging them through the story and filling in certain holes. And I think I had them like, it was a bar fight or it was an insane town that they were in. And I had them like run from guards at one point. It was really good. And they had a great time. They were laughing and it was nothing. I'm pretty sure they were just rolling a D20 pretty much.
Bold decision makers. How many people does that fireball hit? On a map, it's easy to see. In the imagination, it's not so clear. So they need to have the confidence to make calls quickly and with authority to keep the game moving. And of course, the best part is the minimalist DM can game anywhere with anybody. You just need a dice roller app and at least one other person. It is the most skill-intensive way to DM. It is 100% free, requires minimal prep, and gives the most agency to the player. Some DMs hate the lack of defined edges, but minimalist DMs will accept no alternative. Total freedom means total creative power. The Conductor. Step right up, jump on board the Collector's Railroad, and you'll be taken right where you need to go. Conductor DMs have a clear, meticulous plan for the party. They often work tirelessly, planning out an adventure they know the party will enjoy, and so they see it as their job to make sure the party experience that. Conductors often get a bad rep online for removing player agency. And yes, a conductor who isn't ready.
Are these actual terms that the community agrees with for like the titles of DMs? I wonder. But so far I'm a mix of like all of these. I'm heavy on the minimalist, but also conductor. Like the heavy on minimalist and world builder, a little bit of the boxer, but if that's the starting place, like I'm gonna be that, and a little bit of the conductor because I also had a story built for them with my imagination for why they were even in this town to begin with. And my story was going to draw them all together. Of course, pulling inspiration from how Matt DMs with, you know, two of them coming in together or like that. That's how I brought them in. But for me, I didn't have two of them to bring them in. I kind of made them all four random adventurers that ended up meeting up at this bar sort of story. It's been a while. It's been like 3 years since I did this for them, so can't remember exactly what it was, but I already had a story sort of set up that they were going to end up adventuring with each other, and I gave them a lot of freedom of how it was going to end up happening anyways. I was going to like almost guide them slightly into forcibly having them have to trust each other in a way, but also, you know, if one of them wanted to kill one another or get them near death, I was going to like allow that too. So I also like that.
To tolerate any player behavior that deviates from their plan is a very bad thing. However, flexible conductors prepare awesome events they know will happen at some point, and they thread them naturally into the adventure when appropriate.
Yeah,
the party will always end up at the destination, but the conductor will give them the agency to approach problems and choices in their own way. Video games like Mass Effect, which feature dozens of player choices but always end up at the same big set pieces, are a great example of the types of games conductors can run. The Architect. The Architect DM is fascinated by mechanical exploration. D&D has a ton of flaws, but to the Architect, every problem is a vehicle for creativity. They adore creating their own homebrew and exploring others. They will give monsters crazy abilities. They will give players crazy abilities. What if you could multiclass between two different subclasses? The Architect will answer that question with a whole new rule system added into their games. They are the most likely to accidentally break the game, but big explosions and hard resets are just the price of science. To the Architect, the players, just as much as the monsters, are vehicles to explore a gaming system. Architect DMs love players who get creative with their builds and will reward it any way they can to push players further. Expect bonus feats, bizarre magic items, and enhanced player options in character creation. Luckily, Architect DMs build on existing rules. They don't tear them all down. It is totally fine to play an ordinary champion fighter in an Architect DM's game. You just might need to turn down their offer for a free magical jetpack if you want to keep things simple. Of course, any DM can have a style that shifts across multiple categories depending on the game or even how they feel that day. And there are a few more toxic types of DMs too, but that probably wants to be its own video. Remember, you can get this beautiful dice set for free by being an early backer to my Kickstarter, Ryoko's Guide to the Yokai Realms. It's a colossal expansion to D&D, with over 27 new races and subclasses, hundreds of magic items and spells, and new rules systems, including a gargantuan-scale kaiju battle system, bringing mechanics for epic Attack on Titan God of War style combat. The pre-launch page is now live. Link to that is right here and also down there. Also remember to like and subscribe, check out other videos on the channel, and yeah, that's all I got. See you next time.
Really cool. Like his videos a lot. I really do enjoy his videos a lot. Yeah, he basically summed it up pretty well at the end. I feel like anyone is really going to be a mix of any of these, really. So yeah, it's gonna be a hot pot of whatever you are. I definitely feel like I am more on the, at least, I'm not gonna call the exact one so the stretch is too long, but my DM style definitely is going to be like, I'm going to have a structured world and a lot of world building within where the characters' events take place. And I think one of the coolest ideas is having one shots in the world that are actually leading to bigger stories, to when I have them return to the world, if they're playing the same character or whatever, it's like if I play with different people and I bring them into a one shot, that the people I'm playing with in one scenario will hear of the other characters' actions, which essentially is like Critical Role, how Matt DMs, because you do hear of like the deeds or the certain characters that like in Mighty Nine it was less. You're seeing it a lot in Campaign 3, but you'll in Campaign 2 it's like you've seen certain returning characters from Campaign 1, and just cool things like that, little drops or like, yeah. So I definitely like that. And then the big one is, until I get the very basic foundation of the rule set of D&D, it would be very much the minimalist sort of style. And I think that'd be the most fun for everyone because they could, like, their interest in the game, they could hop in very easily. They don't have to learn too much too quickly. And also it would help me as a DM because I can start building upon that. Like I can almost bring the foundation in as I'm letting my creative juices flow. So it's really cool. Really cool. Really good video. Yeah, that's funny. I didn't know if these terms are real or not actually now, because when he said conductors get a lot of flack in the community, and I was like, wait, are these actual titles for the types of DMs? Anyways, other than that, I'm out of here. Much love in Moonlight. And yeah, man, I can't wait to run like my first official game or be a part of one. Dude. Ah, man. Anyways, all right. Much love in Moonlight again. I'll see y'all.